Hello, air signs. And actually, let me change my. Okay, there we go. I just wanted to make sure that I have the right mic. My other microphone that I've been using, where I just clip it onto my shirt and I can just move freely, I broke it. So I am not very proud nor happy with myself because I just broke that microphone. So I really need to get my life together. But anyway, so yeah, welcome on in air signs. This is going to be your reading for August. I know I'm doing this pretty much in the middle of the month. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I really thought I already did you guys' reading. I'm losing track of time, and I don't know about you, but this Mercury retrograde has just really been retrograding. Probably because the Mercury retrograde is happening in my 11th and 12th house. So, especially if you're a Libra rising, like me, then it's happening in your 11th and 12th house as well. So it has definitely been a little bit of a struggle, to put it lightly, but onward and upward we go, people. Anyway, so this is going to be your reading for August 2024. So we're just going to see what comes out. Okay, I don't know what's going to come out. I've had to really collect my thoughts and collect myself before I even sat down to give this reading, to be honest with you. Okay, air, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Okay, all right. So we have two major arcanas coming out, but one is coming in reverse. So we have the moon in reverse, and then we have the chariot upright. Whenever I see this moon, I don't know if it's just because of this set of cards that I am using, but it makes me think of a clock. So you may be trying to beat a clock, you may be trying to get ahead of a clock, or there may be somewhat of an internal clock that is going on, okay, where you can literally hear the ticking, like tick, 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 like, it does seem, the way that I'm picking this up, that you feel you are running out of time. So you may have the tendencies, these days to try to rush through things, rush through tasks, rush through conversations. The way that I'm picking up the movement with air signs, it does seem like you're trying to get prepared for something. It can be split in terms of if it's a good prepare or it is a bad prepare. Who knows? But with the chariot also right here, I just heard collateral damage. Okay. So some of you air signs, you may actually end up being on the chopping block in some sort of manner when it pertains to this particular area in your life. Because we do have the number 7 coming through, we just have moon energy coming through. It may be in terms of your finances. Okay, we are talking about the second house, so that's not really like your 9 to 5. Your 9 to 5 is found in our 6th house. With your second house, that is like your assets. That's like, when you look up people's net worth, that's what you've accumulated. Some of you, it could simply be your actual business, because the second house sits opposite the 8th, and that's a very business type of axis to me. 2, 8, 11. But so we could say some of you, this may be something tied to passive income. Okay, so there may be something tied to passive income where you are trying to beat the clock. Okay, you're trying to, and beating the clock in this instance, it could even be tied to hustling. Some of you, you're trying to hustle. That's why it seems like you're getting prepared for something. That's why I say it's hard to pinpoint for everybody what that prepared thing is that you're trying to do. If you're hustling because you're trying to get something done by the deadline, otherwise it's your ass. It could be. It kind of reminds me of the movie Gone in 60 Seconds with Nicolas Cage and Angelina Jolie, and there's a couple other people in there that I'm having a hard time, but nonetheless, you know how he was up against the clock to boost all these cards to save his brother from pretty much, getting killed. That is the type of vibe I'm getting here. Like, you're either rushing to save yourself, you're rushing to pull yourself out of a bad spot. But this is also, it's like with the moon coming in reverse already, with the moon upright, it's a subconscious battle. between maybe following your heart and following your mind. Whereas with the moon being in reverse, I would say that for a lot of you, you've made the decision to follow your heart when it pertains to something. Okay, we do have Cancer coming through, so some of you may be dealing with the Cancer, or you yourself, you may have a Cancer moon. But I'm telling you, I was picking up collateral damage. I also was picking up damage control. So either that's already been going on, or you may find this starting to happen around the 18th of this month, which is in about the next 3 days. Some of you guys, whenever you watch this, it could be past the 18th, but nonetheless, okay. But before, and some of you, if we want to talk about, there's a particular partnership as well where you're very uncertain about. You were already uncertain about it before, but now because of certain things that have happened, or because of certain things that will happen, you're even more confused about what this person wants, about what you want, or just simply about where this is going to go. I would say right now, especially with the moon being reversed and the Chariot right next to it, I would say right now you're just scared. You're terrified, possibly of it going wrong. But some of you are terrified because you're not used to not being the hero. You may be dealing with somebody, romantically speaking, where you have grown so accustomed to being the hero, to always having to be the one that everyone needs to rely on, that you may be dealing with someone who does not have that same mentality in terms of, doesn't have that mentality in terms of they need people to do stuff for them in order to survive. You may be dealing with somebody who is completely and 100% self-sufficient. And that is the terrifying part, because you may be someone where it's always been you and you. If somebody needs something, let me pick up the phone and call this air sign, because I know that they are going to help me out. And some of you are running scared away from this person who doesn't need you. And some of you air signs, that may be a problem. That may even possibly be why the moon card is coming in reverse, because maybe somewhere deep down in your subconscious, you are just like, I need to be needed. I need my hands to be put to use. And this person not needing me is terrifying, because everybody always needs me. So some of you, you may have already left this person behind for reasons I just said. Some of you may be about to do this now. Okay. Or, it just seems like you're in the thick of something and you're really trying to pull yourself up by the bootstraps and just try to be as positive as you can when it pertains to this whole situation. Because even though we have the Chariot, which is the warrior, we also cannot remove the fact, we can't ignore the fact that the warrior can be cutthroat. The warrior makes sacrifices for the war, for the battle, for the betterment of their side. So on the other side of things, when it pertains to the Chariot, I feel like somebody is really, really chirping, but they're chirping out their deepest, darkest fears. I also would say that some of you, you are chirping out your deepest, darkest secrets to someone that you probably haven't even known for maybe 8 months, a little bit less than 8 months. And this person may be backing off, because to them, they may be seeing this as a red flag, kind of just like, why are you pouring all of this out so fast? Like, I don't know you from Adam, But yeah, I would say that's the biggest thing with the Chariot. I mean, of course, the Chariot, at the end of the day, the dragon gets the I mean, when you think about it, if I think about the imagery of this particular card, the people believe they've captured the dragon, but they keep forgetting that you are not stronger than a dragon. It's just not going to happen. It is physically impossible. So we could have this energy here where it's kind of just like you've won the battle, maybe, but the war hasn't even begun. So I would say that this, remember I said someone is constantly chirping out their like deepest fears, but this is like deep in their subconscious, I feel. But this also may be coming out soon. So some of you air signs, there may be a very, very tough conversation that's going to be, and this also gives me that energy of someone where, you know, they get too comfortable with not having to change. So this could be you or this could be someone else. Because to me, this also feels like somebody is about to be shocked. Somebody is something unexpected is about to transpire. And I say unexpected because we have one person in a situation where they're kind of just expecting you or whoever it is, someone is expecting the other person to always be understanding. I do feel that we are in the midst of a self-sabotage, especially from air signs, whether you're doing it or the other person is doing it, but someone is likely self-sabotaging right now. Hence what I talked about before, because we have somebody who doesn't know what to do whenever they're not needed. It's not the fact that you're not needed at all. It's the fact that you're not used to not being used. And you took those times as being used as love. And then you have somebody who probably doesn't want anything from you. And the sabotage is coming in, the self-sabotage. Some will leave because some people will leave this dynamic with this person because they don't know how to do anything else. But unfortunately, but to be used. For some reason, they have grown accustomed to that being their comfortability, and it's not. Some of you air signs are doing that. You got comfortable with being used or being taken advantage of. It's easier that way because in some way you still maintain control of the situation. But there is going to be a change of pace. It feels, I'm actually hearing the phone ring, not my phone, but it seems like this is going to happen. And there's going to be some sort of phone call that's coming in. Some of you guys, this is a phone call you're not going to want to get because some of you have a teenage daughter or son, and I feel like the call is going to be pregnancy. Okay. And this definitely happened in July from what I'm picking up. Yeah. We have the 7 of Swords. Somebody also is like not telling you something as well. This also makes me think somebody keeps avoiding you. You know, come on, we've all been there. You see somebody before they see you, and then you like, okay, I got to go down to the other hall because I do not want them to see me. But I feel like this is happening. Again, this could be happening at work. This could be happening in a relationship, but somebody is avoiding you. There's a lot of 7s here. So you are likely in the midst of a spiritual situation. Some of you may be in the midst of some sort of maybe karmic connection. And you know, the head of the snake is really showing itself right now because of somebody's self-sabotaging ways. But instead of somebody kind of being honest with themselves about that, kind of just like, you know, I really don't know how to function in a situation where the other person isn't kind of like sucking me dry. I don't really know how to do that because I just got accustomed to that. And I mistook that for love. You know, instead of somebody just being honest about that. And to be honest, I'm not going to say I hate to say it. I think therapy has to be done on both sides. But we have a situation where someone is kind of putting it off on the other person and making it seem like that, oh my God, you're so fucked up, you need to go to therapy. Whereas you both may need it, you know. And honestly, I don't, again, back to the moon in reverse, because this also is the number 9. Number 9 is tied to Mars. Mars is that heat. Mars is that fire. Mars is that very don't think, just do type of energy. And some of you actually, you may end up stepping into that Mars energy, and you may end up kind of going after somebody because you just feel like you have the courage, and this person's going to turn you down because they don't see you that way. So that's another situation. We have the 8 of Pentacles in reverse, and we have the 7 of Swords. Remember I said at the beginning that some of you are playing catch up. You're trying to do something because you're trying to meet a deadline and you've been slacking. Remember I said that some of you guys, it may be tied to your finances. So, and you see the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. That to me, it screams very. I mean, there's no work. You haven't really been doing work. Some of you haven't really been able to focus on work because you're so consumed about this personal situation. And some of you, this personal situation, it may involve somebody that you work with. You may be dating somebody that you work with, or this person you're dealing with, they may be coming up to your job. So that definitely complicates things because now home is coming to work, and that's going to be an issue. The Seven of Swords, we know with this card here, is very untrustworthy. And to be honest, some of you, you don't need to trust this person at your job. You know, even though this person may make you feel at home. This person may be speaking to your subconscious, maybe speaking to your fears, and you may be like, oh my God, how did you know that? Like, oh my God, yeah, I do feel that way. No, because this person just cannot be trusted. You guys don't really have anything in common, but it comes across like they are just parroting everything that you like, but you're not realizing that this person is pretty much just like agreeing to everything that you're saying because you're so enthralled in the conversation where it's all about you. You're not paying attention. You're not using your discernment. And some of you, you're not using your discernment when it pertains to a connection as well. That's been dragging. Okay? Because, you know, the Seven of Swords is leave and come back. I mean, and, you know, of course, with the thievery card energy being there, it also gives me that vibe. It also gives me that energy where eventually you're going to have to answer or explain yourself as to why you took something. And some of you, that's what you're waiting on. You're waiting on whoever this person is. Could, like I said, could be a Cancer, could be a Virgo, could be an Aquarius. Even if you are an Aquarius and you date another Aquarius, or you're an air sign dating an Aquarius, eventually you're going to have to explain yourself as to why you thought that was a good idea for you to take that without asking, or at least without explaining yourself. Okay. Some of you, you're waiting on that conversation to happen with this person who ghosted you, who left without a trace. But again, like I said, I feel like this person's subconscious really got the best of them, because we also do have the Ten of Wands. Okay. A lot of responsibilities, a lot of tasks. Some of you could be building a house, but there's mold, or there's something dealing with the downstairs pipe that I am getting when it pertains to that. I mean, it's a lot of hard work to keep this particular connection going. Some of you, you're trying so hard to keep this connection going, and it's almost like you and this person, nothing alike. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being different, but it just seems like it's been a lot of you sharing a lot of what's been going on with you. And then you may look up and be like, I don't know anything about this person. Some of you, you may be starting to get to know somebody, and this is the dynamic. You are giving a lot in terms of letting this person know about who you are, etc., etc. But they're not really giving you the same energy back. So that poses the question of, are you really interested in getting to know me? Or am I just nice to look at? Yes, I know. But the point is, there is a lack of reciprocity in whatever this situation is that you have going on. That's been dragging for Lord knows how. Some of you, it's been dragging for 10 months. Some of you, it's been dragging for 10 years, whatever the time is. Some of you, since 2018, something has just been, and I would say it's dragging because maybe you are delaying the inevitable. If it's in a work situation, there still could be dragging here. Someone is dragging their feet when it pertains to fulfilling their obligations of the project or whatever it is, whatever task that they have to do at the job. They're dragging their feet, kind of leaving you to clean up. But guess what? You've been kind of like cleaning it up. So now you may not really want to clean it up anymore, but we're going to run into an issue. Because again, I said at the beginning that maybe a lot of you is this fear of not being needed. And you may equate that with, if they don't need me, then they don't want me. Which is, how is that true? Because they may not need you in that way. But that may be something that is hard for you to do, you know. Let's look at the other cards here. Gemini, Libra, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Some of you had a tough move. I would say that. That makes sense. 7 of Cups. We got some speech issues as well. Some of you may have to do some sort of presentation for your job or something like that coming up, or the 17th, which would be probably tomorrow, day after tomorrow, with this 7 of Cups, or the 8th coming up, or this may have been something on the 8th. Okay. But anyway, we have Scorpio energy coming through. So some of you may be dealing with a Scorpio. This Scorpio is very confused, a jack of all trades, a master of none. Some of you, this could be you. You're a jack of all trades, a master of none. You're putting so many burdens on yourself because you're struggling to pick. Nothing is really clicking these days when it pertains to your career, your job. That kind of makes sense, where that kind of goes into me talking about the whole clock, your internal clock that is constantly ticking, where it's making you feel that I have to get it done today, or this is over, I'll never get another chance. And this also could maybe be in relation to, that is why career is not going so well, because you don't give yourself enough time to settle in. You start nitpicking. You nitpick because you want a reason to ghost. Some of you may feel that way when it pertains to somebody that you're dealing with. This person nitpicks, and you may take it as, oh my God, maybe they don't want me here, or they're just nitpicking about something to be nitpicking about something. Well, you need to unpack, because if they have a point, then of course you're going to feel like they're nitpicking, because you don't want nobody to tell you when you're doing something incorrect. I mean, don't we all? But at some point, at some point that has to get thrown out the window, and it has to be, okay, maybe there's something here that I could work on. I'm not saying what all they're saying is right, because they, some of it could be wrong. Some of you air signs, you may have a crush on somebody as well. Or your crush ghosted you, or you ghosted the other person and they're looking for you. They don't understand. Why did you ghost me? Like, you didn't even say anything, And if you did ghost somebody, I feel like this person is actually sad about it. I feel like there is a move coming up. I just realized that. It's going to be one very private. 10 of Wands and the Chariot. It's kind of giving very, I don't want to move, but I kind of have to. We have the Justice card in reverse. We have the Nine of, oh my God, there's an eviction on the door, on the table. Something about that. Knight of Cups and the Justice card in reverse. You're about to leave something behind. I feel like some of you guys, you're about to make an unexpected move. Because you may have a complainer. You have somebody that possibly is watching you. With those cameras outside the house, those little Ring cameras. That's what it seems like to me, that this person is watching you. With the Justice card in reverse, I hate to say it, air signs, that you are about to walk into an injustice, and that's unfortunate. But you do have some negator. We have 3 sevens. I said that before. Anyway, that you're going through some sort of karmic lesson. Okay. We know the Justice in reverse is very unfair. The Knight of Cups, is also, I would say this. If somebody's being left behind, whether it be you or the other person, it's because they feel they've been treated unfairly. And maybe this situation has been a constant off and on, hot and cold, lights on, lights off. Somebody's just not putting in the work to even maintain this relationship. And I would say that some of you air signs, some of you are actually the hero in this situation. The hero in terms of, you're always on the call. You're always like I said before, when they pick up the phone, they try to figure out, okay, who can I call that's going to get me out of this tough situation? No judgment, and just come save me. It's you. And you could be getting down to that point where you just don't want to do it anymore. But the issue could be how? How do I not do it anymore? Because it's hard for you to say no to this person because they could be very charming. Okay? But someone is sadly mistaken. So there's going to be there's something, like I said before, something is going to take a turn when it pertains to this particular situation. Especially if you're dealing with the water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. It's just too complicated. It's hard for you to say no to this particular person, but somebody has some vices, or this person is your weakness, and that's why you find it difficult to completely leave this person behind. Of course, we do have the Seven of Pentacles, where it's like one of those wait and see. But I feel in this particular energy, it's screaming very, just wait and see how strong you are. Because some of you guys, you don't think you can walk away from this particular situation because this person or this particular situation is your weakness. Even if it's a job, the amount of money that they're giving you is very hard to look away, even though you may be getting mistreated from sun up to sundown, and some of you, you're doubting if you can make it through, if you can survive without this person, if you can move on and find a better job or move to a different city and start over. You can, but I don't know what it is about this particular person or thing, but you start melting like ice cream. Yeah, the Eight of Cups is there. Sometimes the only thing you can do is walk away without words. Especially if you've constantly said a lot of words. I get that. Because then it gets to a point where it's just, what am I talking about? Why am I still saying the same thing to you over and over again? So some of you may be in that particular energy where you're just like, you know what? I think I've said enough. Okay? So I think the Seven of Pentacles with the waiting is kind of just like, don't be so hard on yourself. If you feel that you've done enough, if you tried your best, don't be so hard on yourself, because that's all anybody can ever ask, for you to try your best. Yes, you probably made mistakes. If you said you didn't make no mistakes, I don't trust you, because that's crazy. We all make mistakes. Not on purpose. It happens. But if you can accept your mistakes and be like, you know what, I could have probably did that a little bit better. But the majority of the time, I was team you or team this company, and you just didn't treat me the way I should have been treated. So what else can I do at this point? But I'm just going to exit, and I'm not even going to tell you I'm leaving. You know how some people, and maybe in the past, you did tell them, okay, I'm leaving. And you thought that, maybe they're going to care if they notice I'm not here. But, no. With the Eight of Cups, it's time for you to walk away and put you first and follow your dreams and figure out what the hell you want to do instead of being in this constant commotion. Yeah, the Hierophant. I don't mind the Hierophant. Blessings, I don't mind the Hierophant. But the Hierophant does what he has to do. And I think that's where it boils down to. You need to do what you have to do, even at the risk of pissing them off, never talking to them again, or, that is the risk that you have to take to choose yourself, Yeah. For some of you, thank God you're not married, Some of you guys that are married, it's tough. It is tough. Okay, there's been a lot of infidelity in this particular connection, and you've tried you've tried to look the other way, but that's your fault, because you shouldn't do that. But yeah, with the King of Wands in reverse, and some of you, this person doesn't want to be in a relationship. I hate to say it, and just putting it plainly, this person has been completely unfair to you, like severely unfair to you. And I'm not really one for saying that you should give up, but in this particular instance, I feel like you should give up. That's what I feel. I feel like you need to give up. Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, go back to your family. Go back home. Some of you guys will go back home because you moved out of state, out of country for this particular person. But go back home. They're going to welcome you back home with open arms. It may not seem like it because you may be dreading the conversation, but it doesn't matter. Somebody, whoever this person is, somebody energetically has their hands stretched out and they're saying, come home. It's okay. You know, Five of Pentacles. They don't give a damn what happened. It's cool. You know, we get it. Life happens. Okay. Yes. Three of Wands. Some of you. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. And if there are kids involved, I feel like it's just going to be co-parenting, visitation. I think it's going to be very black and white when it comes to paperwork. Because unfortunately it just has to be that way, you know. But some of you air signs also, there's going to be a new love that's coming in, okay, kind of fast, right? And we have the Temperance card, but oh yeah, that's nice. Nine of Cups. So who knows what's going to happen? And to be quite frank with you, I don't really know if this situation is completely over. I mean, for your sake, I would like it to be, but the Justice card is coming in reverse as well as the Moon, and we have the Wheel of Fortune. So I don't think this is over. You guys will meet again, but it may be in a different lifetime. But I would say that you guys are going to meet again. It may be in this lifetime because of the Nine of Cups here, kind of like saying, you know, if you want to reconnect with this person, yeah. But for now, it's not a chance. And I wouldn't even worry about it. Okay. So air signs, that was a long one. But I do hope it helped you, and I will see you later.